Hello, everyone. This is Twist Gaming. We're live from PAX Unplugged in Philadelphia, where you get to play board games with us. I am getting really tired. Who are we? I'm Josh. I'm our guest, Julie from Game Power Games. And we have Elena from Fantasy Flight.
Hello.
And we're going to see Fallout today.
Yes. Hold on. I'm having a microphone thing. All right. So this is Fallout, the board game. It is based on Fallout 3 and Fallout 4, the video games, and some of their DLC. And this is a pretty big game. So it's 1 to 4 players, so you can play by yourself. And it kind of takes a lot of what makes Fallout 3 and Fallout 4 what they are and puts it on the tabletop in a multiplayer format.
All right.
That's got to be really popular because that's a big deal.
We've had a really good response here, which is fun. So. We actually, on the first day, we decided to turn our banner to like make the Fallout banner we have up a little more prominent because people kept looking for it. And we're like, oh, maybe we should turn this.
Yeah.
So people can see it a little better.
I was pretty excited when it came out.
Yeah, so we've had a really good response so far because it does a lot of stuff. Like you can see in front of me, there's you know, a zillion pieces to this game. It kind of has everything. It has like this.
Let's take a look at the board. There we go. There we go. Wrong way.
Oh, that's a nice setup. I like that.
Thank you.
All right.
See all the things.
Yes, you can see all of the things. There's tons of them. Okay, so this is what the game board looks like for the Commonwealth Scenario, which is the Fallout 4 scenario, usually the one that we've been using for demos.
All right.
And the Commonwealth being former Boston.
Yes, so pretty close. Pretty close by. Are you from Boston?
I am.
Perfect. So you'll feel right at home here.
Right at home.
So it tries really hard, and I think our designers did a really successful job of taking the Fallout video game, particularly Fallout 4 here, and putting it on the tabletop. Like anyone who's played Fallout 4 will recognize you sort of start in the northwest corner of the map, and you sort of explore downward. You run into Diamond City, you know, the Boston ruins, and way down in the bottom corner, you get to like downtown Boston and some other features from the game. You'll also notice that the tiles turn red as you go east. I'm looking at this upside down, trying to remember what my directions are. But as you go east into the board, you're going to start hitting some more dangerous terrain. So very much like the video game, this tries to, you start off very simple. You start with 2 special skills, so strength, perception, endurance, charisma, intelligence, agility, and luck. You start with 2 of those, and then as you go through the game, you'll progress your character. You'll get better apparel, you'll get nice companions, you'll get awesome weapons, and you'll gain more and more skills to help you out in the wasteland. So to start that, I've got some characters here. Do you guys have any preference? You can be the Wastelander, the Brotherhood Outcast, a super mutant, a Vault Dweller, or a Ghoul. Does anything sound particularly enticing?
I go with Ghoul.
Ghoul. All right. So as the Ghoul, you're going to knock your hit points down to 12. You have a maximum health of 12.
Got it.
But when you take radiation in this game, people move their radiation token upward. You don't. You instead regain hit points. So max hit points of 12, but you never ever take radiation, which is really nice. So there is one way to actually die, officially die in this game, and that is if your radiation reaches all the way to the top of your health bar. That can't happen to you, so you can actually never, ever, ever die in this game.
All right.
Or I'm only half dead the entire time.
Yes. You're
like
mostly dead.
Mostly dead.
I can't remember what he said. The guy.
This guy, the super mutant?
Yeah, the super mutant.
All right,
he looks
perfect.
kinda cool.
You have super cool skills too. All right, so here's your card that explains that. And yours is going to be here. So you get this handy-dandy little token that reminds you that you are a super mutant and you can never not be a super mutant. Super mutant forever.
Can we show that? Because these are awesome.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, these are really cool.
I love these miniatures.
So we got these.
That's great.
This guy's very cool looking.
So super mutant also has sort of a special ability. Yep, and there's the card. So the super mutant has this special ability where you still take radiation, but every time you take a radiation point, you get an experience point. So you level up by getting stronger. Like you take radiation and it makes you stronger. So that's pretty cool. So we also each get a starting skill. So if you can flip that over and see what skill you have, and I will be the Brotherhood Outcast, and then pop it into your special track on the corresponding letter. So I am an intelligent Brotherhood Outcast. You are a strong super mutant, and here you can flip it over to the other side, and you are a perceptive ghoul, because you know the wasteland like the back of your heavily irradiated hand. So these are our base characters. Then we're each going to draw randomly one of these tokens. I can grab one for you.
Thank you.
And pop that into your trek. I got the same one, so I'm going to draw a new one.
All right.
So these are your starting characteristics. I have endurance and intelligence, strength, perception, perception, and luck.
Okay.
And so this is kind of how you start the game. You start with your 2 skills. Your health is in pretty good shape. And then we're all going to put our miniatures right up here on the starting corner of the map.
All right.
And then we can go. On your turn, you can take one of 6. Well, you can take 2 of 6 actions. You can explore, which is probably how we're going to want to start. So let's say you're going first, Julie.
Okay.
There's really not much you can do, but you can explore. So maybe do you want to explore this token or this token?
I'd like to go right here.
This map tile. All right, we'll flip this map tile over. And now you can sort of see what's coming next. So your next option might be to move. So you can take 2 actions. Explore is 1, move is another. So you could go boop, boop, and now you're in the raider camp. But there's a big bad human in the raider camp.
Oh yeah.
And he's fine with you for now, but you may have to deal with him a little bit later.
All right. We'll put a pin in it for now.
Yes, yeah.
All right, we'll just keep an eye on him.
So that's your turn. So now you're up. Would you like to explore more of the board? Maybe move over that direction?
I'll move over with Julie here.
All right.
Oh,
so you can move 2 spaces.
Okay.
So yep, you can get to here.
Right there? Okay.
But you're right. So you're right next to her. You can either move some more. You can explore this map tile to sort of open up the map a little bit. Kind of up to you. The first couple moves are just sort of getting into the wasteland.
So I'll go over here.
Yes. So you've brought us to another thing. This little red outline here. This is rough terrain. This is very difficult terrain, which takes 2 to move into. Two move actions. You can though.
Oh, I can?
You have two move actions.
Okay.
And you went from here into here.
Okay.
So there's a lot of theme in this game.
Okay.
Like there's these mountains, and you have to take a little more time to get up into them. So here's me. I am the Brotherhood Outcast. Unfortunately, I cannot move as fast as everyone else because I am encumbered with this massive power armor, which is great. I have a lot of protection.
You're a tank.
Yeah, I'm a tank, but it takes me a long time to do anything. So I'm just going to move over here and explore this map tile. And that's about all I can do. So that's one round of the play.
Are the tiles randomized or?
Tiles are completely randomized. The face-down ones. At the beginning of the map, you will or at the beginning of each scenario, you'll have this map with the with your landmarks.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So we've gone through one full turn of the game.
Yeah.
So the next thing we're going to do is flip over one of these influence cards. So you have your own influence card, and that kind of tells you what your personal goal is in the game, how you get extra points. Wow, why can't I think of this word? The win condition of this game is to have a certain number of influence points, which is dependent on the number of players.
Okay.
But we also use those cards to determine which enemies activate between turns.
Okay.
So once we get through a full round of the game, we'll flip that and look at the symbols in the bottom corner.
Matt, can you make that a little bit bigger, the card cam?
So in that bottom corner, you see stars. There are no stars on the board, so we don't have to worry about that. That kind of little DNA piece, those are super mutants, and we do have a super mutant on the board. He is going to take 1 move closer to us. So throughout the game, all of the enemies are seeking you out, which is a little different than the video game.
Do they reveal map tiles when they go on them, or they stay?
Map tile, if it's face down, functions as an entire space.
Okay.
So if he moved 1 more, he would just move onto this map tile. If you, before he moved again, flipped over that map tile, you get to choose where he goes.
Okay.
That is quite helpful. Yeah.
Yes. So he's coming at us. And then humans, we have this human on the board, and he is going to attack.
Oh.
So he's going to attack you.
Oh, no.
That's okay. Fighting in this game is really fun.
Oh, yay.
All right.
That's right. That's the whole point of it.
Yes. So here are your dice. This is how we're going to fight. So if you roll all 3 of those, every time you fight, every time you encounter, every time you quest, you're going to roll the dice.
Okay.
What we're trying to do, if you want to look at this little regulator, man.
So this is what I got. In case. Or Josh.
Take it.
Yep.
All right.
These are going to green screen wonderfully.
Oh, no. They're green. All right. They're green. You can see right through them. Yeah. That's okay. So you can see the invisible parts of his body are the locations you hit with your whatever attack you were able to do. Man, yeah, this game sure is green.
Yeah, Sam is sure green.
So you'll see on the regulator, you need to hit his chest or his legs. You hit his chest and his legs. And you need to hit him twice because that's his level. You'll see in the corner he has a little 2.
Okay.
So you need to hit him twice in the 2 areas of his body.
Okay.
So perfect, you did that, but he also hit you. See those little hits on the dice? Yep. Yeah. So each of those is damage multiplied by his level. So you're going to take 1, 2, 3, 6 damage, which is not the worst thing, but as the ghoul, that is half of your health.
That is half of my health.
But you killed him, so you'll see the little symbols on him.
Not the worst thing.
Yeah. So we
talked the best.
No, absolutely not. So we talked about his range damage. He's got that little gun.
Yeah.
That didn't come into play here because you were in the same spot as him. But he also has a little loot, which means you get one of these loot cards. And that is yours. You can show everyone. Ooh.
So
and you got armor. Oh yeah, should we pop that over there?
So we got some metal armor.
Loot cards are items. There are 3 different kinds of item cards in this game. Loot, which this is a mildly inferior piece of armor. Okay. It functions. It gives you 1 damage reduction, so that little shield in the upper corner of the card, or in that middle corner of the card, will negate one of those hits.
Okay.
So if she was wearing this when she took the damage, you would have taken only 4 damage instead of 6.
Okay.
But you'll see, because this is inferior armor, you cannot use charisma or agility for rerolls.
Okay.
So makes it a little harder.
Is there a limit to how much gear you can put on yourself?
You can only have 1 item. So you'll see along your survivor board, you have these little slots at the bottom. So you have an apparel slot, an equipment slot, a companion slot, and inventory. So you can have 3 cards in your inventory unless you have something that tells you differently.
Okay.
So now you have some armor on, which will help you if you get into another fight. If by chance you don't want that armor, you can go to a settlement and sell it, which is a good way to get money.
Game.
Yes.
And the other one.
So that is a big part of this game, is building up your survivor, or deciding like what kind of armor do I want to put them in. So me, if I want to get rid of this, I can only move 1 at a time. I can just sell my armor and be like, I don't want it. I don't care. So that's kind of where we're at. So that was our flipped cards. If we can bring this back, you killed the regulator, so we're gonna pull him off the board, and then a new raider will spawn here, but he hasn't fully spawned yet.
Right.
We just know that that's coming. If humans come up again on this sort of mid-turn activation, he will flip up and perhaps attack us. But we're back into the round, so if you would like to start.
I would like to continue and move this way.
You can do that. Before you do that, I will tell you, so you're on this little symbol. I don't know if we want to pull the map tile over under here, but you'll see that little symbol in the raider camp. If you'd like, one of the actions you can take is to encounter the raider camp, which means you can go in there, see if there's people in there.
Yeah, no, I
maybe
totally
see
want
if
to
you
encounter.
Can steal some stuff.
Yep.
All right. So we're going to encounter the raider camp.
Okay.
And to do that, we're going to pull from the encounter deck, which the cards look
little
like.
Symbol matches the little symbol.
Yep. So I'll pick it up. And so you don't know what happens. I'm going to read it to you and read you your options.
Okay.
We don't know what the consequences are going to be. As you pick through the ruins, you spot a figure on the ground. As you approach, you see that it's a dead man. He has no weapons or gear. What was he doing here? You can either investigate the corpse or ignore the corpse and search the location. And to do that, you'll have to roll the dice using perception and endurance, which will give you rerolls if you have those things. Do you have perception?
I have perception.
Yep.
Yeah, sure. Loot the body. Why not? I'm a ghoul.
You're going to investigate the corpse?
Oh, yeah. I'm a ghoul. I feel like that's my thing.
On the corpse, you find a filthy folded photograph of a man geared for war standing next to a small boy and girl. You can make out bits of a note next to the drawing of a bird. I am going east to my greatest regret. You and Margaret. Maybe Margaret is still alive. So you get a loot.
Cool.
You gain 3 experience points, which means you immediately level up. And then we're going to get rid of this card and add a new one to the game.
Cool.
Chad, I have a question. How do you do those cards if it's just a single player?
Single player, just try not to read the outcome.
Yeah, just gotta.
Yep.
Yeah.
You get to be honest with yourself.
Honest with yourself.
You're only ruining it for your own self.
Yeah, really. Like, what? You just try to decide what you're gonna do, but very much like a sort of a choose your own adventure novel sort of situation. Like, you just trust yourself not to look forward and do what you can not to. So this says to add card 5. So this is my favorite part of the game, which is a 159 card library, and this is full of cards that have options like that. And there's all these branching quest trees and everything. So I'm going to pull the card that it instructed me to take out of this, and now we may encounter this situation again. You may run into someone named Margaret and say, oh, I found that note earlier. That's kind of interesting.
Hey,
yeah,
Margaret.
I remember Margaret. So we're going to take the card it said to add and shuffle it into the top of the deck that has the matching symbol on it. So we'll shuffle that in there, and one of us will encounter that card later on. So not only do we have these face-down cards here, but we also have one major quest card, which is face-up. This one functions just like that quest, or just like that encounter we did, but it's a quest, and we all know the outcome.
Okay.
So this one is sort of our main story.
Okay.
This is what's driving us in this game. It's called Welcome to the Commonwealth. Many dangers lurk in this new wasteland ahead of you, but the one that you have heard the most about is the dreaded synth. Said to look, sound, and smell just like humans, they are robots who have infiltrated the very society of the Commonwealth. So we can either kill a suspected synth that no one will miss to find out the truth, or this all sounds a bit overblown, head to Diamond City to discreetly dig up some information. This gets us really into the core of the factions of the game, of the narrative of this scenario that we're playing.
Okay.
So when we accomplish either one of those, the two factions of the game will gain power.
Okay.
And as we go through the wasteland, you'll encounter those factions in a lot of different ways. You'll have ways to help them or to hurt them. And ultimately, that's what makes this game semi-cooperative. For the most part, we're kind of all in it for ourselves, but if at some point I am given the opportunity to side with the railroad, and you have already sided with the railroad, for example, then we are kind of partners, and we both want the railroad to do really well because we get more points the better they do.
Okay.
But if you're working with the Institute, then we don't like you very much, and we're going to race you to every single quest.
So it's not so much, it's more like corporate mergers, as it were.
Yeah, it's still in it for yourself, but there may be some mutually beneficial options out there. So that covers a lot of elements of this game, and obviously as you go, you hit bigger enemies, you run into other things. One of the options that you can take on your turn is to rest. So for example, that may have been your next option, would be take a rest, and then you regain 3 hit points and sort of, reset your character a little bit.
Very good.
But that's a lot of the game. I don't know. Do you have any questions about it?
That's awesome. Does chat have any questions? Because I know some of them are talking.
Yeah.
That seems really...
There was a lot of vested interest in that.
Yeah, there was a lot. Everyone was very interested in.
But you had so much to talk about. I didn't want to interrupt.
Oh, no. I'm so sorry. I just wanted to get it all out there because there is so much, and I want people to feel like this is the game.
And I love all of the
little.
Oh
yeah, the Nuka-Cola caps are really cute.
So perfect.
Yeah.
And this comes out?
This comes out on November 30th.
Okay, end of the month.
Yeah. So we're pretty excited to see this hit. I think it's a really good holiday gift.
After my birthday.
Really? Well, happy early birthday.
Amazing. Thank you.
So I should tell Rob what to get you for your birthday, right?
He already knows. He's already gotten me something, but maybe it'll be an additional something.
But yeah, that's Fallout the board game from Fantasy Flight Games, and oh my gosh, I didn't even show you how to level up. You leveled up. So you get to draw 2 random tokens. Show you how level up works. Let's imagine you drew those. They are both perception. Because you already have perception, that means that you get to take a perk instead.
Got it.
So there's the perks are super powerful one-time abilities. These are green, so I don't think we're even going to try to green screen them.
Questions. Are there plans to add more characters?
Look at that.
Oh, wow, that really does disappear. That's kind of cool. A little problematic. Adding more characters, we do not have any plans to speak about at this point about expanding the game. So for now, kind of this is what we have, but we have certainly not ruled out the possibility of expansions.
And I missed the other 2 questions. They disappeared before we could ask
something about if it's co-op.
One about co-op. It's semi-co-op. It's always going to be like you know, you scratch my back, I scratch yours, but you're still winning.
Yeah.
You're still out to win yourself.
Do you win as a group or you win as an individual?
You can win as a group.
Right.
If 2 people reach the point value that you're looking to get at the same time, then you win together.
Okay.
Yep. But you'll very, very seldom. I'm sure it's possible for everyone to win, but it's not very likely.
Okay.
Well, I find it
how long does the
interesting.
game take?
It can take anywhere from like 2 to 3 hours.
Okay.
Depending on if you get pizza and stuff. I played one that took 6 because we explored every corner of the map and got pizza. Took our sweet time.
I feel like that might be my group.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
you know, whatever.
Just make a Saturday out of it.
Exactly.
Are the figures easy to paint?
I have not tried painting them, but my understanding is that they're very similar. They're made very similarly to most of our other figures. If anyone played our Doom game from last year. But yeah, I love the figures in this game. I think for Fallout fans, they'll feel like it's a tangible Fallout experience.
Yeah.
You know, like the video game. We adore the video game.
This is cool.
Yeah.
And like, how many times do you have to play to get through?
Oh, so there's the 4 scenarios. So each one.
Yeah.
I honestly couldn't tell you how many times you could play through it, but that's, I think, one of the best things about this game.
Scenario, can you do a campaign style, or is it fresh each time?
It's fresh each time.
Okay.
I mean, I'm sure that people could homebrew a cool scenario where, like, at the end you keep some of your stuff or something, which would be love to hear about if you do that.
They're asking if it's the same every game. The map, I think you said some locations are static, but everything else is
there's
random.
a few locations, so if you want to try to put this, you can at least see some of it in the green. Oh, that one shows up pretty okay.
Pretty good.
So you'll see the green ones do vary. You just put those down blindly, but the other ones are static. And there are 4 different cards like this with different layouts.
Okay.
Is there a special edition?
There's not a special edition.
Okay.
Just the one $60 box.
And I'm assuming it's where it says entirely in Boston, because you mentioned Fallout 3. Is it scenario specific that it's the location, or?
Yes. So this is set in Boston. Then the Fallout 4 expansion we worked with was Far Harbor.
Yep.
So there's one kind of in the Acadia region. And then Fallout 3 is, of course, the Capital Wasteland, or DC.
Yep.
And then we have the Pit, so Pittsburgh area.
All right. Awesome. So thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Thank you everyone for coming. We'll be right back with more games. I'm Josh.
Elena.
I'm Julie.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.